painters in there.
And with the pursuit of power, Nuala, why is it likely to derail our judgments? So you could have a leader, you can pick any leader, just say political leader, for instance, and with power, I know there's that cliche, with great power comes great responsibility, but they may, align the power they've been given with greater responsibility, and that responsibility would lead, hopefully, to better judgments or better ethics or greater consideration of the impact of a decision. But what happens with the pursuit of power that derails that?
It's the desperation of single-mindedly chasing power. It narrows your perspective. You are so focused on achieving your goal that you create greater risk. You only hear what you want to hear rather than actually interpreting what happens. And actually, I wrote an article, I think it was in Psychology Today or Forbes or somewhere, that talks exactly about that point, about when you are too goal-oriented, you lose focus. I mean, you know it yourself. You're so single-minded, you're so focused on a goal that you lose perspective. And I think somewhere along that, one example, I mean, you can pick any of the CEOs, for example. I don't know if you remembered Wells Fargo. The Wells Fargo example is the CEO there. I mean, I think this is bonkers, really. He wanted to increase, his holdings, and he basically instructed the teams to achieve 8 accounts per customer. And 8 accounts. I don't know who has 8 accounts: a mortgage account or a savings, a deposit account, a credit account. 8 was extreme for anyone. That was a mandate, and all of the employees duly complied. But they duly complied, and they fabricated millions of fake customer accounts so that the bank could reach the targets. But that wasn't the bit that I found even more bizarre, was that when he was interviewed again by the Senate committee, the banking committee, he was asked, well, why? And I think someone must have asked him, well, why 8? And he said, well, 8 rhymes with great. Now, I wasn't sure if he was being facetious or just ridiculous. In his mind, it probably did. Well, it did rhyme, and 8 would have been great. But the price that company paid, and they didn't listen. So even more interestingly, even after the fact, a couple of years later, even though they were fined billions for that, I think up to 4 billion, they repeated it. They didn't listen. They overcharged, implemented, unwarranted home foreclosures, again with that single-minded goal. So they were hunting power. They were looking to be top dog in the industry. And, it was a path to failure.